Hey guys, welcome to PJ's Coin Capers. So today we're going to look at 5-cent coins. Love them or hate them, they're around. And, you know, sometimes you don't even bother picking them up if you see them in the street. But as coin collectors, I usually do because you don't want to miss out on something that's truly amazing. Most of the time, it's nothing worthwhile picking up. But who can be bothered noodling them? It's a really tough one. I mean, it's a lot of work, and there's a lot of work to try and get the reward. The funny thing is, like, I go through my coins, and you know, I always make sure that I'll always get some 5-cent rolls, even though I hate going through them. It's hard to see the date, it's hard to see the little cuds and those kind of things, but there can be some really cool rewards that can come from going through these 5-cent rolls. Okay, or bags, however you get them. You know, there's $2 worth of coins, plenty of coins to go through, which is great, which is a good side about going through these coins, is that there's plenty of coins in this roll to hunt through and to find those special coins and special dates, okay? And when you do find one, they're always going to be worth more than 5 cents. So let's just go through a few of the errors and special coins that can be found in circulation if you look for them. Okay, so let's start at the back there. We've got the 1972. So these are the back three low mintage coins, or potentially low mintage coins. So we've got the 1972 5-cent piece. Yep, it's a tough one to find. It does take some work. Sometimes you can get lucky and find 3 of them in a session. Sometimes you'll go hundreds of dollars without finding any of them. But that's the 1972. 8 million total in circulation, and obviously they've been there since 72, so a lot of them have been pulled out of circulation. This is sort of the coin that, well, you need it to make your full set, so you're always going to need one. So it's always going to be tough to find, but well worth finding. If you can't find it, buy it. They're going to cost you like, I don't know, $5 to $7 each. So well worth finding, well worth selling, well worth holding on to. The lowest minted currently is a fairly new coin, and this particular one is the 2016 Changeover Coin. We've spoken about this many times on the channel, and it looks different than all the other 5-cent coins because of the obverse here. And the 2016 year was the year of celebrating 50 years of the decimal changeover, or the changeover from to decimal currency. So this is the 5-cent coin. These can still be found, okay? Even though there is half as many, like there's 4 million of these compared to the 72s, they can still be found, okay? And these will go up over time in value. Certainly in uncirculated condition, say straight from a bag, these guys are worth $1 each. Probably the ones that you find in circulation might be worth 50 cents each. They're still going to be a tough sell. I'm not saying that that's what you're going to be able to 100% sell them for, but they're certainly worth more than 5 cents, and they will be certainly worth more in the future. Now, this week, well, in my noodling time, I found 2 of these. Now, we've spoken about recently the 2019 changeover of the new effigy from the older effigy to the JC effigy, and this is it. I found 2 of these coins this week, and this is one of the ones that in the annual report says that it is currently a low mintage along with all the other JC coins. Who knows if that's going to stay like that, or whether these are just going to blow out as far as mintage goes over the second half of 2019. But currently, all these coins with the new effigy are classed as low mintage. So we're going to keep those. So it's worth finding those. We don't know what they're going to be worth in the future, but well worth holding on to. They only cost you 5 cents. So then we get on to the error coins. There's heaps of different errors that can be found. Okay, from CUDs, and I've got a few examples of some of those right here that are certainly worth more than 5 cents. Some of my favourite types of errors to find are the tilted collars, and you certainly find them more so on 5-cent and 10-cent coins. This particular one is year 2000, and we look around the rim of this one, you can just see a little bit of the reading going on there on the side of the rim there, but this one's showing very little of that, and this one's a fair way off center, and it would have been outside of the collar, so therefore didn't get much of that reading. So this is a tilted collar, and it's certainly offset as well. So that's a special coin, and I'll show you a few other examples of them. We've got quite a few here to have a look at. Maybe we can see ones with different sort of rims on them. That one there. So that's a good example of a tilted collar. I'll try and zoom in a bit so you can sort of see that in better detail. There we go. So I'll just hold my hand there just so it focuses on the coin. But these are worth far more than 5 cents. Now, this is probably my favourite one. Look at the lip on that. If I hold it on that angle, that's a cool coin. Over near my finger there. Look at that raised lip. Okay. These are the kinds of things you want to try and find. These guys are worth a lot more. I have no idea what this coin would be worth. Some of the other ones with, well, not as spectacular as this one, would be worth somewhere around $20 each. This one's probably worth a bit more than that. But maybe somebody can tell me what this might be worth. It's not too far off center, but it's certainly a cool looking error coin. So those kind of things are well worth looking out for. And these are just some of the ones that I've got. And a few of them were given to me, which was really generous of the person who gave them to me. So thanks, Brad. You know who you are. Look him up. Tassie Adventures, guys. Look up Tassie Adventures. Surely he's going to be getting some videos out soon. It's been very cold in Tassie, so have a look at his channel if you love looking for coins and gold and metal detecting. So, Brad, get out there, mate. Get stuck into it. Looking forward to seeing some more videos. All right, so there's a few more of those there, but they're all fairly similar, as we can see there. Brad sent me a few of these, so there we go. All right, so another coin to look out for is the 2015 missing SD. So below the 5, I've got it up right. You'll see a little bit of a smudge there, maybe not much at all on this one. All right, just hold my hand there. Below the 5 is meant to be an SD in this region here, okay? Right below the 5. If you look at any other 5-cent coin, you will see an SD. So for Stuart Devlin, who is the designer of this coin, you can just see a little smudge there. So this is the missing SD. I find these fairly regularly, so certainly not as rare as other ones. And you'll also notice between the claws, the back claws, will be little cuds as well. Certainly you can just see a little build up in between, like the webbing there. So there, that's an error that goes with the SD, the cutting as well. I haven't looked up what they're worth price-wise for a little while, but certainly well worth keeping an eye out and checking each of your 2015s. This one here is a nice rim cud, okay? So you can see this big section here where the die was breaking down and allowed additional metal to be pressed up, and they're well worth looking for because some people like to hold them and collect them, and depending on the year, they may think that's worth a premium and will pay you extra to have that one in their collection. So we come across to another 2001 coin. There we have it there. And this is the Flamingo era coin, which is actually formed by a die crack. And the reason why it's called a flamingo is because it's supposed to look like a flamingo's beak or head there with the, yeah. If you have a look at a flamingo and have a look at this, you'll go, yeah, I can see it. So that die crack there, you can see to the right of the SD, there's a slight little die crack up the top here. Just right, if I can find it there. Right there. And then it's followed through, and you can see like it's almost like a drip. It's almost like the metal is running, but it's actually filling a gap in the die and changing the design in some ways. So that's a Flamingo era coin. Okay, so they're well worth looking out for on the 2001. You can occasionally find them on other years, so the 2002, but predominantly the Flamingo is the 2001 coin, and I've certainly seen these sell for around the $25 to $45, all depending on condition, which is with every coin really. Now what have I got here? Ah yes, the 2007. Now in 2007, the mint made a mistake and they put two heads in the one press. Rather than having a coin that has the echidna on the other side, they made a mistake of putting double die. Okay, so double heads in the machine, and they pressed out 2007 double headers. Unfortunately, this is not one. Okay, so I don't own one. I've never found one, and my feeling is because I live in Melbourne, a lot of these things have been found, I think, Sydney or north of Sydney, from my understanding, possibly around that Port Macquarie that sort of area. They must have, somehow the mint or whoever the security company was that was putting coins into certain areas dumped these coins into that area. So look, if you live in that area, make sure you do go through 5-cent coins, because they can certainly be something to find one of those guys. So well worth it, and seriously, like $1,500 plus for something that had a double head on it. So it's a major error, and is one of those errors that all Aussie noodlers want to find. Okay, the funny thing is, while I was actually noodling through my rolls, I actually had to go and try and find a 2007 just to show you a 2007. While I was trying to find this 2007, I actually found 3 more of these, and I only went through another 3 more rolls. So these can certainly be found. Okay, and so I did pull each of those 3 out of circulation. They're not in this pile here, but I've put them aside in my weekly finds. But yeah, these guys can certainly still be found. So this is my favorite coin, and this was also donated to me by one of the viewers from this channel. Now I've shown this coin before, and this is something I try to find, and it's in this thing, so it's a bit harder to see. But if I zoom in a bit more, this is a 2006 5-cent die clash error. Now you'll see the markings certainly around the mouth and under the nose, on the chin of the queen, just to the right of that, and certainly across the neck and to the back of the neck. Okay, you'll see some markings. What's going on with this coin is that at some stage when the presses were pressing out 5-cent coins, the two dies clashed. There mustn't have been a coin in between at the stage, and they clashed. And they clashed with such pressure that it left an indentation from the echidna side of the coin. Let's grab one. From the echidna's side of the coin, and left it on the head side of the die. So the next coin that jumped in, if you look at the gaps between the echidna's, well, let's call them fingers, but their claws, you'll see that that shape is exactly the shape of what's occurred there next to the queen's face and mouth and across her neck, and then continuing behind her head. So this is a die clash coin, and this one was donated to me as well, and I'm very thankful for that, because I really love this coin, and it's certainly one that I will certainly treasure and I will not be selling, and I'm very glad to have it. But this is what I try to look for, these kind of coins. There is one other coin with the die clash, which is actually on this coin, and I have spoken about it on the channel, and I think I've got a video on it. I definitely have a video on it, but it's the alien era coin, where similar thing has happened, or exactly the same thing has happened, but it actually looks like antennae are coming off, and therefore it's called the alien era coin. And those antennae are created alongside the beak going up alongside the face. So you can see that sort of shape that's sort of dug out inside there as well. And so this area here creates that impression off the top of the circle, the coin on the opposite side, and it looks like it's a cool error, and I cannot wait to I can't wait to find one. I've gone, found hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these things, but I cannot find that particular error with the antennae coming off here and here. So yeah, this is definitely worthwhile going through and hunting through the 5-cent coins. Some real value can be found in these coins, so I encourage you to, whenever you go and pick up coins from your bank, don't bypass the 5-cent coin. Pick them up, go through them. Real value can be found, and these guys are not going to be around forever. They do cost more than 5 cents for the mint to make them, and at some stage the government is not going to be happy with that, and they'll withdraw them from circulation. It may be 10, maybe 20 years down the track, we don't know, but when these coins are not as readily available, they're not going to be as easy to find anymore. So get in there, have the best of fun trying to find them. I know it's hard to look at all the details. There are certain little ways you can go about it, and I know I've got a friend who uses his his Apple, not the iPhone, but the iPad. That's what I'm thinking of, the iPad, and he noodles underneath the camera of that, and it's all nice and blown up, nice and big for him, and he can see far more detail, and it doesn't strain your eyes as much. So, alright guys, if you've liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and make sure you hit the bell. Each and every time a video goes live, you'll certainly be notified of a new video, and please subscribe. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll have another video for you soon.